Our value is actually about to 10x because there's going to be so much automation and a lot of AI content, for example. People are going to crave now authentic, real human connection. And Sele, you can't compete with AI. For example, you you and Timo do a stand-up special, maybe once a year. An AI model can do that every day. So if AI models started dropping stand-up specials, it's going to be every day. So you can't compete with that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we are humans and we miss interpersonal in-person interaction.
Because you have to build a culture. And if someone is affecting that culture in the business, because the culture will withstand anything that comes, even if the economy is bad, even if there's a pandemic, even if there's a problem, the culture will withstand all of that because the people in that system have understood this is the way we do things.
Okay.
These are the principles that we abide.
Saseni Mkofiti, welcome to our mini series of the founders of businesses, like founders in businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, where we want to review their year in review 2025. And I'm so excited because guys, mmeninominatea watu, kuna wenye wanapatikana, kuna wenye wako very busy. As you know, founders are busy people. As you know, entrepreneurs, this is their season, So they are trying to lock in their books. So some of them won't make it, but most of them are coming. And today, niko na watu mlitaja, watu mngependa kujua 2025 yao imekuwa aje. So drum rolls for the guys on set, because I have 2 gentlemen on set, which I'm so happy to host, guys. Ninafurahia sana. Nyinyi mabeshte zangu. Before hata mkue founders, and I know people. I can gladly say that I know people. Wasinisho kitu. Karibuni sana. Tuanze na Ashok. Ashok, introduce your brand, introduce yourself, and maybe one word, describe 2025 in terms of your business, not as Ashok.
Yes. So my name's Ashok Sunny. I'm a founder of a business called Ashok Sunny Tailored Limited. I'm a father, I'm a son, and I'm a husband. In terms of the business, just to summarize 2025, it's been a challenging year, but it's a year also, but we've been able to make we have been able to build our business and structure our business in a way that from the difficulty that has been in terms of the economy and things that have happened, we've been able to work on things internally to build the business for that longevity purpose.
Nice.
Yes.
I love that. Ashok ndo. Mimi ndo model wa Ashok, as you can see. This is Ashok Sunny Tailored. Then we have Bwana CEO.
Squeezy mistake.
Bwana Director.
But then nimekumiss. Mtu yangu umenitupa.
Hata mimi nimekumiss.
Kwani hatujakuwa tukipatana?
Hata sasa nasema Bwana Director, mimi najua Philo. Mr. Director himself.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Philip.
Thank you. Thank you
so
for
happy
inviting us.
to have you here. Ni mimi nakuuliza maswali. Uketi class. Be a student.
Be a student. I hope I get an A in this class.
You will. Introduce yourself.
Right. My name is Philip Karanza, and I have been producing culture-changing content for about 2 decades now. I am a co-founder of a company called Philit Productions Limited. We're specializing in telling stories and shifting cultures. 2025 has been our slowest year. Actually, since we started working, this last quarter of 2025, we've had no projects going on. Like, it's been our slowest year. And one, I think it's the universe telling us to slow down and evaluate where we are at and what the next step is, because that is what we've been doing a lot this 2025, just figuring out this thing we are doing. What exactly are we doing? What are we hoping to achieve? Where are we going to make the money from? And what are the next steps? So I have a feeling next year will be quite busy. So this year, slow down, reevaluate. So it's been a very chill year.
Wow, I love that. I love that you're not saying it has been a hard one. you're saying it has been imetuslowisha down, and you've been there in business for 2 decades, like 2 decades. Wewe usemi 14 months, wewe usemi 7 years, wewe una talking decades, decades.
Na bado tunatry figure out.
Yeah, but I love that you're saying imewafanya tu slow down.
Yeah.
How we take negatively, so you're embracing the season.
Right.
So come next year you feel like mtakuwa sasa rest, so you're in a good like energy back to tops.
Kabisa.
So when it comes to your storytelling and film industry, are there major shifts umeona 2025?
Definitely, absolutely. Like, if there's one industry that has been hit really hard, the industry to be with AI, of course. Right now, we used to be special. Now we are not.
They're still special.
Oh no. The skills we had as writers, directors, editors, camera people, all those things can be automated. There's an app right now. I'm sure you've probably come across an ad of it. You just link your website domain into the app, and then it generates content for you. So depending on how much you pay, it can generate up to 3 pieces of content for you every day. So, and it's like that. Yes. So, for example, Ashok sells clothes.
Yeah.
And Ashok maybe models after Tom Ford. So Ashok anachukua tu domain yake, anarusha kwa hiyo app, then anawambia niaje, study the style of Tom Ford and how they do their content, or Vogue, and then create content around my work and my brand and my clothes to look like Vogue or Tom Ford with a Kenyan twist, and then click a button, you spend like maybe less than $100. Something that Vogue or Tom Ford has spent millions of dollars creating. So we,
wait, mini traditional na ita work like itakupatia feedback, itakusaidia as a business
kabisa,
like seriously
kabisa,
like it will feel like Ashok himself did this.
Let me tell you the other thing. Nowadays nikipata na founders tuna have conversation. There's when I was on CTA Esther's channel, Richie, there's a clip that went viral of me saying that we spent over $1 million being taught how to do business, learning business model. Right now on ChatGPT, in 5 minutes, you have the entire business model, something we spent $1 million on.
So we just need to embrace it.
No, you can't fight it.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, so, and that's why I'm saying for us, this year has been take a step back. If you had asked me 3 years ago what I want to invest in, I'd have told you a big studio with equipment, and right now nenda kusema kitu kaa hiyo najishika kwanza niko. So Phil, you invest on a big studio, who's going to hire the studio? Because someone now can create an amazing set at the back of their house somewhere and digitally just create an entire world.
Ay, Philip, nika nitakuona kando. Ay, Philip.
Yeah.
I'm still for the idea of create a big studio.
Yeah. So where I'm at right now is create with a purpose. So will Philit build a studio? Absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm not building it now to like have people. I mean, if they come in and hire the space, amazing. But it's because of the next phase where we're going to, which is we figured out money does not lie in entertainment. Money lies in products, in your goods and services.
Philip ananimaliza nguvu. You're finishing me. Hey. Okay.
Yeah.
Wacha tuende kwa Ashok Sunny.
Yes.
Hey, Ashok Sunny. Wewe hapa kwa hii industry yetu ni kama huyu ananishtua sana. Let us move to the product.
Yes.
At least for you, I know you have the product, which is the clothing. You also do service as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'd love to know, are there major like shifts in the clothing industry? Watu wanataka suti ama tumeacha kuvaa suti?
It's true. Post-COVID, there was a big shift because if you look at the way people are dressing now, it's more about comfortable wear. So it depends on your clientele and who you want to serve. So does your clientele who you're serving working through that shift? Are they conforming to that, or are they still going with the old style, the way they were doing things? But I came to realize right now, because the market is so open and the world is one place now, you're not actually competing with people who are here. You're competing globally.
Yeah.
So right now, if someone in Italy is automating his systems in terms of the way they produce clothes, and you're here still doing the same thing, like Phil is saying, you're still doing the same things that you've been doing all of this time, you're not competing. So right now, the same client who's coming to Ashok and being able to order a suit can go to the internet and search and be able to create his own suit and order, and it will come to him seated in his office. And me, Ashok, I have to tell him, come for fittings, come for adjustment, come for blah, 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 all of these things. He gets tired. There's no time. So you have to conform to that and understand that the world is changing. And also, one thing I came to realize in this year is people in our industry do not work for longevity. It's instant gratification. So you don't build a system that will be able to sustain you and your next generation for a long time. That's why you get the tailor that you knew when you were young. You cannot find him either. But Anashona either in that the same way, but he's not growing. He's in the same space doing the same thing. Or sometimes you don't find them anymore because people do not understand how to build a business. So building a business is building systems, building processes and building structures. And then now getting people in, because it is not just about making a garment for you, Celestine, and it fits and then you go. That is not business. You see, the product is not just only the business. It's what you do inside the business and after. So it's the service that you give people. So because it's an interpersonal business. As much as AI will come in and automate everything and make everything easy, people will still crave that interpersonal.
Yeah.
Eventually, in 10 years' time, when everyone gets tired of, because people get tired very fast, they'll get tired of that, and then they'll still crave the old way. Because that's why you even see fashion, you still want to wear the old style. Now it looks, in the Gen Z, the flared trouser looks nicer on them than you could wear by yourself. But you see now they're embracing what used to be done before. Even something simple, I was having a conversation somewhere, barbershop. People are now craving the old style barbershop, like when you used to go under a tree and then they have the signboards there and then you're choosing your style and then it's not very complicated. The barber is doing everything. He's cutting you, he's cleaning you. See,
Hakuna demo massage.
people, yes, exactly. People now want to go back to that. So
at least unanipea hope. At least huyo ananivunja. At least they will go back to the old way of.
Ni venye hujafika place na kupea hope.
I think I'm still fighting it, but at least you've given me hope. They'll still go back. Inaweza kuwa cycle.
Yes. People still crave that interpersonal relationship because at the end of the day, we cannot all rely on machines.
That's true.
Especially people like us who are not born with this. The Gen Z, the new generation, the Gen Ys, those guys will be able to work with computers and machines and be comfortable. But for us, we still go back and crave what we are used to because you'll never lose whatever you're born with.
That's true.
Yeah, at the end of the day. So once we are all gone, then our children will be the ones now running around with machines to do everything. Yes.
Thank you, Ashok.
Yeah.
Finally.
No, actually, but they as creatives, because I consider him a creative as well, our value is actually about to 10x because there's going to be so much automation and a lot of AI content, for example. People are going to crave now authentic, real human connection. And Sele, you can't compete with AI. For example, you and Timo do a stand-up special, maybe once a year. An AI model can do that every day. So if AI models started dropping stand-up specials, it's going to be every day. So you can't compete with that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we are humans and we miss interpersonal in-person interaction. Right now, we have the option of Zoom meetings, but all of us agree that a one-on-one personal meeting is always better.
Better, for sure. Zoom anawasha alafu anafanya shughuli zingine.
So what I think is now for someone to watch you live, they're going to pay 10 times more.
Yeah.
So your value is about to go up.
I'm also seeing agencies, I don't know whether you've seen this, who are checking whether this thing is chatty. Like, hii caption umetoa hapi. They can also confirm ni wewe ama umetoa mahali. So, kusema tu kweli, we cannot compete with them. They can also not compete with us because Sele ni Sele.
Kuna experiences Sele, kutoka vile uligrow, shule ulienda, your life, kuna cultures na Kilesele may go through an AI model will never. There's nuances about you that an AI model will never get.
That's true.
Yeah, that makes you unique.
Okay, so now I'd love to hear in this mini-series, nataka tu kusikia, like your biggest maybe wins ama your biggest lessons for 2025. Just two. Kama najua zinaweza kuwa mingi sana, but just two. Ashok. Ashok.
One thing I've come to learn, what I mentioned earlier, is that you have to decide if you're building a business for you or you're building a business for generations. Because in our industry, because the main core of our industry, how it was built in Africa, it's a Juakali industry. So people, there's a lack of professionalism. There's a perception that people have towards tailors. And it's something universal.
Sasa tunaenda kuwashikia panga.
Exactly.
Shona hiyo nguo.
It is true. It is true. And it's still happening up until now.
Yeah.
But now to understand that you have to build this thing as a corporation where you have structures. Then you go back. Now, how do you build structures? You build systems. How do you build systems? You build processes. Now, it becomes there's another level. Because as you grow, you come to meet new clientele. When you meet new clientele, these are people who have traveled all over the world. They're telling you what you're doing is not enough. This business is just about building the product. It's a whole ecosystem that has to work. And once now you start building that ecosystem, it takes a lot out of you and you're putting a lot in. So you're sacrificing a lot. It's 10 years into the business, but now you're putting in more than you used to put in before. So you come and sit down and say, how am I going to get to this level? Now you're sitting down with the tailors and telling them, okay, my friends, first of all, you need to write reports. Now you're telling your fundi, you need to write a report so that we can know if you're efficient. Because if you're not efficient in a day in terms of production, then at the end of the day, you're pulling everyone back. And then you have your tailors who are not well educated. They just understand the skill. They know how to make the clothes. Then you're telling them the world is changing. So the way you used to understanding the clothes are being made is not the way it's supposed to be done. So we're supposed to change how we do things. So this is your SOP. It has to change. What you're used to doing has to change. You need to learn more. Now you need to do training. You need telling someone who's been doing it for 10 years, we need to train you now to understand levels of cutting, levels of stitching have changed because you're competing with the world. And now then you're bringing in professionals, people who have gone to school, have degrees and masters, and you're telling them now, we're building a system that works between you, this person and you, and you have to work. You have to get a lot of problems in between. And these problems at the end of the day reflect in the end product. Now you have a whole system. It's a client journey, it's a product journey. Now you're telling your tailors, this is a product journey. You are key to the product journey. You're telling your service people, you're key to the client journey. And these things have to work together as a well-oiled machine. These people do not understand these things. So it's you. Now it's you to put in a lot of work and effort to make people know and understand where the vision is and where you're supposed to go. And sometimes
what if they don't understand that vision?
Because the system will tell you that person does not understand the system. Because at the end of the day, the client at the end of the farthest end, the client is the key. So if the client is not happy, it means the system is not working.
So have you had to lay off some fundis when you understand?
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
If you come there, that's why you usually come there and find new people. Because the system is keep on telling you that this is not working, you have to do this. You get, now you're paying people salaries that your overheads are so high at the moment because you're trying to make a system work and you're trying to bring in new people to make the system move forward so that you can be able to know the problems you can rectify. Because this is something you're not building for yourself. You're building for your client and your future generation. Because if you come back in 10 years and you still find the brand is still there and things are even moving even better, if your son comes there and says, okay, my father or my mom used to come to make suits, I want to make suits. That is the key. That is how you build a business that transcends generation. So that is where we as Africans need to go. Because we build businesses just for us. If you look at systems and people who are bringing revenue, that's where the personal branding and the business come in. Your personal brand becomes so big so that it's very hard for you to get out of the business. Now the business cannot survive without you. But you bring in so much money, at the end of the day, your children cannot take over. Because now everyone is in that shadow of the person that was there. So we cannot build businesses beyond
our brands.
Because you can see now, even you look at, is it Amazon? Amazon, Bezos owns, I think, 11% or something less.
Yeah.
And he's stepping out of the business. If you look at Berkshire Hathaway, the old guy, what is his name?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
He stepped out of the business and someone else is in, because systems have been built so well that anyone can come in and step in and just make it better. But we don't know how to build a system, and we don't want to build the systems, especially as creatives, as people who are in these industries that are very young. We have not matured yet.
So what I'm getting is it's okay, guys. Ukitoa leo fundi, kesho lete mwingine until the systems work.
Yes.
Until hata kama alikuwa mzuri aje, as long as he's not in aligning with your vision,
Yes.
ama as long as he's not meeting whatever you want for the business. Because that's what I'm getting from
Yes.
you, Ashok.
Yes.
You're
You have-
trying to make it
Yes.
biashara bila mimi.
Yes.
Itasonga.
Because you have to build a culture. And if someone is affecting that culture in the business, because the
Out.
culture will withstand anything that comes, even if the economy is bad, even if there's a pandemic, even if there's a problem, the culture will withstand all of that, because the people in that system have understood this is the way we do things.
Okay.
These are the principles that we abide.
No, this is how I do my thing.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the company now. This is not Ashok, how he does it. It doesn't represent the person. It represents a system that is a company. So this is how we do things. If you cannot do things the way we do it, because you put in rules and regulations to make sure everyone works together so that this person does not feel undermined by the other person. Sometimes even in the business, the biggest problem you can have is just HR. Because someone is so good, it's so good at what they do, but their character is so flawed that they make everyone else uncomfortable. And then you have someone who's not so good, but their character is very good. They make the environment in the business good for everyone else. And you better have that person and try and push them to be as efficient, as good at what they do as possible, compared to having this person who's good, but is making everyone else miserable. Yes.
And I think this explains why. Because I've known Ashok. I've known you for 10 years now.
Yes.
Like 10 years.
Yes.
So this explains why.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this answers my question.
Yeah.
Tulianzana na wewe ulikuwa ngapi?
Downtown.
Tea room.
Yes.
Uko side the tea room.
Yes.
Actually, nyinyi ndio mlituintroduce.
Yes. Yes.
Harusi yetu Kishonango
Yes.
ulikuwa tea room.
Yes.
Ukatoka tea room ukakuja Jivanji.
Yes.
Ukatoka Jivanji ukakuja na Kumat
Koinange.
Koinange.
Yes.
Sai uko
Ridgeways. Yes.
So the growth,
Yes.
like the growth explains it all.
Yes.
Wewe uko, this system must
It
work.
has to work.
As much as sisi usema mafundi ni waongo.
Yes.
Hiyo wewe utaki. Wewe usitaki usiwekwe group moja na mafundi.
No. I don't even consider myself a fundi.
Good. I love
I'm a
that.
master tailor.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it has to work.
Yeah.
The systems have to work.
Yes.
And I love you also comparing yourself with other businesses like Amazon. Where si ati fundi shona nguo peana.
No.
Ini biz.
Yes.
Ini ecosystem mzima. How
Yes.
many employees do you have?
Right now we have almost 30.
Ooh,
Yes.
well done. Hey, well done. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bwana Director.
Yeah.
Mr. Director, your major lessons and wins for 2025.
For 2025, like I said at the beginning, was reevaluating. So it was figuring out what our business is and what our value is, because of so many things that were changing. So I started having these like kind of reflections in 2024 when I got an opportunity to go just to Hollywood, and then nafika huko hivyo manze, studios hakuna job, they're not shooting. I'm like, this is Hollywood, like, so
Why are they not shooting? I'm expecting cinemas
no man, the internet, AI has really affected our industry kabisa. So that's 2024. Then 2025 we had a meeting as the Big Six, and we had a long conversation around this, because it wasn't clear anymore, this content thing we are doing, this film thing that we are doing. And so that's why the whole of 2025 has been slow for us. It's figuring out, okay, this business is broken as we used to know it, and then what is the essence of this business, and how can we exist beyond the AI and all these changes, and what is our value, and how can we make money? So that's the space I've been in. honestly, I've just been trying to figure out how do people make money. And the word CEO can mean a lot of things, but me yangu inakwanga very simple. CEO equals sales. As the CEO, if your company is not bringing money,
You're not a CEO.
you're not a CEO.
And the primary salesperson, you are the primary salesperson.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you don't figure out the money, so that's what I've been on, figuring out the money. And
Have you gotten an answer?
yes,
Share with me. Please.
Share with
Please.
us.
creative.
Share with us.
I don't have the money. I figured out the system, and it's right there in front of us. And this is just to all creatives and people in our industry. We are not special. What I mean by that is what we do, creating content. It's a good to have. It's a nice to have, but it's not a must to have. Yeah. What I mean is, I love watching Sellers channel, but nisipowatch takufa. Life itaendelea.
Yeah. Si
But,
lazima.
but chakula, whether nimesota, whether sina job,
Lazima nikule.
nikule.
Yeah.
So there are industries that, unless you don't work your systems, or the industries that the success rate is very high. This is true actual numbers. And of course, Hollywood, they do better data in the US. People who make it out of Hollywood, creatives that become successful out of Hollywood, is only 1%. But in the US, if you open a business, let's say like plumbing, you have an 87% chance
Of making it.
Yes. Jumtu yangu, whether we like it or not, lazima tuende choo.
Yeah, true.
Na hiyo choka imebreak. During COVID time, all businesses were affected. But plumbers, electricians,
Maintenance.
Bado walikuwa tu job.
walikuwa job. Because for the first time uko home throughout. Hapo ndo na realize, by the na hii sink haikuangi poa. Unamuita na fix. So when you look specifically at money is in the quote unquote old boring businesses. It's right there. Things that we were told from primary school, our basic needs: food, education, shelter, clothing.
That explains why sahi agribusiness wanakafunga.
Juu lazima tukule. And the thing about food, the beauty about food in the world right now, we cannot sustain our population. Like the need for food is what Kenya produces versus what Kenyans need.
So even if I started now an agribusiness, nitakafunga tu.
Haijalishi which angle
I'm
of
not
agriculture. No. As long as now you figure out the systems, the marketing and everything. So now where is our role as creatives? That is what I've been struggling, because unataka kuniambia for 20 years I've been pouring my heart, my body, my energy, my soul to this industry, and now you're telling me it doesn't make sense. The truth is, because we're in a very competitive world and a very capitalistic world, the only way now your product can stand out is through storytelling. And who are the masters of storytelling?
The creatives.
Culture, commerce follows culture. Yes, commerce follows culture. And we run the culture. If you run the culture, you run the world. If Ashok decides this is what is in style, that is what we are going to wear. So as a creative, he leads the culture first, and then the commerce follows. Every business, it doesn't matter which business you're in right now, there are industries you cannot avoid. Number one is tech. Number two is storytelling, whichever business. So now as creatives, ni sele knowing your strength, which of the quote unquote boring businesses can you tell their story really well, and start owning businesses in that space. For example, agriculture, because me wana nyi mna do story mob na timo farming. The money is in farming, and you guys are storytellers. How can you tell the story of farming?
Because we can't all be farmers.
Exactly. But you can own equity and shares in a farming, in an agribusiness somewhere. And now that's where the money comes in. So it's not all doom. And, we still need creatives in the world, because creatives cater to the soul and the spirit. But the capitalistic world we live in, the money part, caters to the body. So you need to figure out as a creative how to cater to the body. Cosmetic, food, clothing, shelter.
And you were speaking of that. Just remember that time I told you.
Yeah.
What I realize is people don't sell brands. People don't sell products.
They sell the
sell brands,
story.
which is a story. That day I woke up in the morning and texted Phil and told him, we need to tell this, my brand, Ashok Sunny,
The
story better.
Yeah.
That day I realized that is what people are selling.
Well, let me give you another example of value. Tesla and BYD. This is a common story online if you search it. BYD is the leading electric company out of China.
Yeah.
Tesla is, of course, we know Tesla. They sell almost the same number of cars. In fact, BYD is more profitable.
More profitable, yes.
But when you look at the value of the company, Tesla is like 10 times more valuable than BYD. And it's because the Tesla story has been told so well and so many times. Story adds value. Do we have time? I have another story.
actually continue because now because now I'm getting, because I've always asked myself, nyinyi wote mko online, like we started with digital, then we went to a product. Like there's you on digital, then there's the real you with the clothesline. There are brands who feel like, and maybe this one will answer most of us, mimi biashara yangu inadu poa online, siwezi taka kuonekana kwa hiyo biashara yangu. You see, there's that one person. Then there's a person for, I want to talk about my business. I want to say how I started in a bed sitter, started in a bedroom nikitengeneza na beads na mkono. Now I'm importing all the way to the US. So you're answering my question for, we are invested in emotional like stories. Tuambie ulianza aje.
Kabisa.
Sindio?
Stories. Why was Raila Amolo Odinga such an enigma? When you like think through his life, like there are very many politicians who went through the struggle with him. But why was he such an enigma?
Kama the friend, the best friend mwenye wamesema juzi. I'm like, this guy has been his friend for that long. Not hatukuski sana.
Exactly. And it's one simple thing. Anytime Raila stood up to speak to people, he will speak in stories. Vitendawili. Like alikuwa anaanzanga na story. He knew that story makes you relatable. Story makes you believable. You're able to convince me with story. And that is what made Raila as big as he is. Raila is like one of the richest people in this country, but bado tulikuwa tunaona ni mse wetu
kabisa. But they alikuwa very close
because of his storytelling. It made him relatable. So another story, I'll rush through this one. I am an art student. I studied fine art, so I love art. And one of the most valuable artists of all time is called Vincent van Gogh. For those who are into art, he died very poor. He was an artist, died very poor. But right now, all his paintings collectively are worth more than $10 billion right now. So what Vincent will do is he will do a painting, then he will send it to his friend who was in another town somewhere. Anamtumia to your painting, and then he will write letters that go along with the paintings. So when he died poor, then 6 months later, the friend also passed away. The friend was married. Now the lady who'd been left, the widow, ameachwa manze, and I think they had like a 1-year-old child. So she's like, how am I going to survive? She's in a room full of paintings, Vincent. So she went out, tried selling the paintings. They were not selling. Tried exhibitions. They were not selling. So one day she's like, I'm going to burn all these things. So she's going through stuff, and she finds the letters that Vincent will send alongside the paintings. And she started reading them. And then she realized, oh my goodness, each letter detailed what went into painting doing the painting. For example, there was a painting of Vincent's first bed, and so he wrote very passionately, niaje manzile on memekdo nimeweza kujibaya my very first bed. For the first time in my entire life, I'm going to sleep on a bed. So she did an exhibition and attached the letters to the paintings. The value just shot up because it was now no longer just a painting of a bed. It was a story. So story, that is our superpower.
That's true.
You attach story to any brand, you 10x the value of that brand. Yeah.
So that is something to those business owners when you're wanasemanga, me I'm shy. Maybe that one day you're going to tell us how you started your business. Is the day tutakuja tu to buy. Hata hatutaki, but you'll just come and buy because imagine your story yote. You know, we buy out of emotions.
Yeah.
Umesikia venye alisema
Kabisa.
it is like, who is it? Kuna msee fulani sijui ni nani. Okay, I won't remember now, but itakuja baadaye. Like
Kwa comments.
hiyo ndo time wasi wananunua unashindwa. Nimekuwa nikiwauzia mnunui. Mmekuwa mkingoja tu history yangu ndo mbae.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Story is everything.
Story is everything. Okay, so I know, Philip, you've mentioned that this year has been your most slowest year when it comes to business.
Yeah.
Are there major things you've had to do? Because, I mean, if you're not shooting anything, you're not doing anything, I have to make these huge decisions.
Swali ni ngumu.
CEO.
Ashok unaweza anza. Ashok unaweza anza. Because most of us, we face those challenges in our businesses. And then you're afraid. Would you fanya nini?
Yeah. I mean, one was just telling everyone in the business that this year we are going to slow down. So one of the things is we are not putting out a film this year. We always put out a film at the end of every year. And films are like a big project. It takes us a lot of work and time. And yeah, we just told guys, this thing, kwanza, I would just pause. And, you know, so this year as a company, actually, I think we've only just done one big project, one TV show, and for us, usually we're constantly producing. So
and it's airing this December. So December kuna content inakuja YouTube, feel it.
Sasa hiyo ya YouTube atuitangi project hizo zinakuanga zile mnacheza huko hivyo.
We are sorry. Oh, we are sorry.
But then generally, and I love the team and
2 decades.
2
decades.
2
Hizo
decades.
ni
No, by the way, we do online content to just sharpen our skills and to keep people. So because we had a long free time, tukuwa na job imewaka. So the team is like, guys, tuko hapa, cameras tuko hapa, see, we do a show. So that is what is premiering on YouTube. Inaitwa Sayuni. It's a concept I've had for like 5 years. So let's see how it goes.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hata kama ni that's just
No.
Sisi mafans tutafurahia. And also I feel like it's a thing in business. Sometimes you just have to do things to sustain the business.
So now, in our arm of the business, one of our biggest arms, as AI is taking over, we've realized the one thing you can't replace is community. If you build a community, you can survive with them. So the content we do for online is purely for community. We don't even look at revenues or no. It's there are all these fans of Philit Productions. And this year we're not giving them a film, but you know what? Here's content so that they don't go away. We don't want them to go away. So we need to maintain the community. Yeah.
I love that. Bona Ashok Sunny, any hard decisions, difficult ones that you've had to make this year?
One. I sat down with, because I don't run the business alone. I have other people in the business. And then you have your employees. So you sit down and tell them, this year, it is going to be hard. It is going to be difficult. And it's a personal choice. Because if we don't build the business right now, we don't look at the problems that we have and solve them, we don't listen to the feedback that's being given back to the client, we cannot survive beyond next year. So we sit down, we accept, we're not going to push marketing, we're not going to push anything. We're going to work internally and solve the problems until we sit in a place and say, we are 80% there. Then the rest of the 20% we can do as we continue. So sitting the whole year and telling people, we're not going to make money. Taking a personal decision and saying, I'm not going to make money this year. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to work on this business. I'm going to put in all I have. I'm going to tell my investors now, my friends, this year I'm not going to report to you any profit or any loss. We're going to work on the business. So sacrifice whatever you had in mind in terms of getting this year. my employees, if you're hoping to get a raise this year, sacrifice that. Let's put in the work, because this is for you, this is for your children, this is for everyone else that comes after, in terms of who wants to build a business like ours, because you're going to build a structure and a model that people can replicate, so that we don't cry every day and say, oh, the fashion industry is not growing, the fashion industry is being neglected by the government, the policies and regulations do not work for us. The only way to do that is build an industry. Once you build an industry, then everyone else can come and conform to you. So build a system, build a structure, build a model that can be replicated. Right now, you cannot sit and say, I want to do fashion, I want to do tailoring. Which model can I replicate? There's none. Because no one has been able to build that. People have been there before, they're building their businesses and they're continuing. Some succeed, some fail. But how do you measure success? Do you measure success by your own personal gain? Or do you measure success by the growth of the people around you? So the biggest decision has been to sacrifice profit and build a business to that next level where you can sit and say, if everyone else in the world who's doing the same business as ours can sit on the same table as me, then that's the ultimate goal.
I love that.
Yes.
Not many businesses will say that.
No.
To sacrifice profits.
Instant gratification.
Everybody is after profits.
Yes.
So let me tell you, every business gets to that point because you're always running, and then one day you just pause. You're like, why are we running? First of all, what are we doing? Can we pause fast? Yeah, because you burn out. You're human.
Yeah. And you know, the more you continue running, the more you're losing more business than you're gaining. Because there's a lot of mistakes and a lot of problems in the business, you don't see it, but the client sees it. So the client will come and they'll go, they'll never come back. You don't know why. And you sit down and then say, okay, I've not seen this client for the last 3 months. Why? Because he's seen a problem. He's told you there's a problem, but you're not working on the problem. You're continuing to run because business is coming in so fast, money is coming in so fast. You don't even see that one person who's complaining about one thing. And that one thing, that one person, is in the long run, in 5 years, all of those people that have been coming in will be that one person. So it will be replicated over and over again. And then at the end of the day, you're sitting there because you've been running, and then you realize, I don't have a business. I've just been running.
It's called the lie of the small business, the lie of small businesses. We all start small. We say we want our business to grow, but we actually never sit and think, what does it mean to say that my business will scale? So we're just there, pushing product, pushing service, and then the business is growing, but you're not building systems, you're not building cultures. So it gets to a point, and we've seen that in this country so many times where, sorry to mention the brands, but it's because they're in a public space. You look at Nakumat, Keroche, those they started small, they scaled really fast, but the systems are not done well, and it gets to a point now, the business crumbles. Yeah.
So it will still catch.
Yeah, it will catch up with you.
Yeah. So what I'm getting is from both of you, and I love that you're saying it is good to take a pause. Si kufunga. Ni kupiga pause. We analyze. Because most of us, we really run.
Oh, yeah.
Ni hap. Especially when you're starting.
Yes.
Hapa. Because you want to see the margins of the money.
Yeah.
That is what we call growth from most of the startups.
Yes.
But kumbe you can take a pause a whole year. You can take a pause and learn something that won't meet you 10 years later. Ati kumbe ningepozingi ile time. Ningejua hii story mapema. By the time unafika kufunga biashara kama Nakumat, must be a very big blow.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Mpaka
washajua kubrand sukari yao, mchele yao. You're like, okay.
Yeah, billions and billions. Yeah.
So take a pause.
And you also need to learn the way the environment is, because you remember when the demonstrations were happening in 2024, when it started, you knew, if you're smart enough, you knew the government is going to be reactive. So you knew the government is going to do something to react. Now, from that time till now, the government is trying to find a way to deal with demonstrations and uprisings. So the government is not doing anything productive. So the government is just reacting, because at the end of the day, all these people are human beings. And what are they worried about? Their survival. That's why you see, you'll always see the president on the top of a car talking to people, because he's still reacting to that. He's trying to convince you that what you are worried about, the problems that you think are there, they are not there. I'm going to solve them. So there is no productivity. There is no money that will be in the economy until these people feel they can be able to survive beyond 2027. So it's a tug of war. So nothing productive is happening, in a sense that's why you hear people saying government is not spending. So we there's no money in the economy.
Yeah.
People now, like you say, it's supposed to be peak season. People are not spending.
Yeah.
What
There's
does
no
that
money.
mean? But the same people are buying new cars. We are at KDV. But not KD what?
Yeah, but because you see, it's 2-3 individuals. It is not the whole system. You get people. We are in Africa, our system is dependent on the government.
Yeah.
Remember, Agrarian Revolution, it was social, political, and economic. So it's social, political, intertwined. And for us, economy comes after social and political. In the Western world, it's economy, then social and political. That's why Donald Trump will need Elon Musk and all of these guys, big guys, to be on the table for him to become president. When he has to make a decision, all of these big guys have to be sitting on the table. But for us, it's the other way around. The politician transcends the professional.
Yeah.
So for us, whatever the decision the politician makes affects whatever
economy.
we put on the table at the end of the day. So that is why we're having these problems. And then you realize it is not going to change now. So what do? You do things that you cannot do when things are moving faster.
Okay. So now that's why you're saying it's a good time to plan your systems.
Yes.
Because right now, kukuna go slow.
Exactly.
Because next year, I know it's something like 2 years ago, I decided I will not focus on negativity.
Yes.
I will choose to see positivity
That's
in everything.
True. That's true.
And I feel like next year what people have been saying, there's no cash flow. I think there's about to be an abundance of cash flow. One, because like he said, our country is, politicians. So next year is pre-election year. So they're going to spend. Number two, some of the policies the current government has put in place. And this is it's a hard, because politics usually carries along emotions. And running a business, it gets to a point you stop looking at the person, because every person is flawed. You now start focusing on the policies and then see what policies are working for you and how you can align yourself. So something our current government and president has been doing is lowering the interest rates for the T-bills and whatnot. And if you see this year, the market value at the NSE has really shot up, the shares. And that's because the banks and all investors wametoa pesa yao from government bonds, wanazipeleka to business. In essence, the money is coming back to businesses. So if you're ready for investors and investment, next year might be a very good year. The money is, if the current government maintains the policies that they have. Yeah.
I hope so. Na venye tu umesema negativity, whether you're saying maybe I'm saying there, it will find me.
Oh, let me tell you.
I will speak it into existence. Nyinyi mkisema kumekauka, kwangu ni kugreen.
Wacha nikushow leo kitu sio joke.
Hiyo kitu si jokes.
The first maandamano, an acquaintance of mine, a business person in this country, was so pissed at us juu ya kwenda maandamano. I feel bana, hii kitu yenyu inaisha lini? Kwa nini? Manze, kuna ndege yangu nimeorder, inafaa kuland. Sasa hii maandamano yenyu imefanya ndege ichelewe. In this economy that we are complaining, and this is it's not a wash guy or legit business. Like his business is doing so well. He was buying a plane.
Yeah.
And
those are your acquaintances.
Yes.
I know.
Okay.
People
They're buying planes.
Advantage of Fanya becoming CEO. You meet. And what I've noticed is, because it's something I started saying in 2023, I am done with thinking negatively. I just want to attract positive. So I've started attracting people. You have conversations. Unaangalia mse uko country moja. Because the way people are moving.
Yeah.
And I have actually seen it. When you start seeing opportunities, you start seeing them everywhere.
It's true.
When you lock into negativity,
you start seeing it
everywhere. So it has even trained me on social media. There are posts and pages I don't click on because nowadays I don't even call it social media anymore. It's being called interest media. Juu ukiklik kitu moja,
Hiyo
they'll
ndio
go to thing.
Yeah,
So
pushes.
if you click on
Then you
some
start-
negative news, like last year, 2024 year, I did a lot of content around gender-based violence. So I was constantly researching nini. So my timeline and everything around me just, so manze, I used to see so much violence. So this year I was like,
And it also has effect on your mental
of course,
well-being.
because now I genuinely can't trust people. Like I am so overprotective of my daughter because of
What
the
you've
amount
seen,
of
yeah.
abuse I witnessed and saw
Yet
online.
there's a good side
Thank
of
you.
the world.
Yes. So even on places like X where there's so much negativity, on X I'm constantly just reading threads, business threads and stuff. Kuna watu niambia, we feel kwani unakuanga Twitter gani? Juu yangu ni very different.
That is what we want,
Yeah,
either way.
yeah. So focus on the positive.
Even for the business owners. Kuna mtu anasema ni kubaya, kuna mwenye anasema ni kuzuri. Like channel your energy there.
Sele kuna wase busy and this warms my heart because I think the people we see on social media who are very loud get their money in ways you cannot explain. But hapa kwa ground kuna wase wana make dough na ni legit. Na wana do very
That
well.
is very true.
Yeah.
Inakusho tu energy yako ukifocus on this thing, itajipa tu.
Kabisa.
Thank you so much, guys. Like I feel so nice. Parting shot. Kuna startup pale, Philip. Kuna content creator pale. Hata hajafika 2 months. Wewe uko 2 decades.
Na bado niko
Na
class.
bado.
Sahi ndio naanza kulanjia
Prime, sahi
pesa.
ndio. No, sahi, like you still got it, even
Yeah,
after all that time.
Yeah.
They would love to know, because kuna hizi, I feel like because of being there, you can be able to say, oh, positivity. You can be able to say these things that look like cliche. But for sure, you know, isi cliche. Hii ni ukweli.
Kabisa.
Even ndo kuko. But say, kama mtoto wa class 2, ndo anaanza. Wezi mwanzia na positivity attracts. Wezi mwanzia na hizo saying.
Yes,
ama
yes.
naza nini. Kama huyo mtoto. Hiyo level yake tu. What would you tell them? 2026. Wanataka kuanza.
Mtoto wa class 2.
Like explain
Ni
to
class
them
2 kwa-
like a class 2.
Like a class 2.
Yes.
Okay. At this point, because of the amount of information out there, my biggest line is by Warren Buffett. It's the more you learn, the more you earn. So if you ask me for the next generation and moving forward, the 3 skills you need to be really good at, it doesn't matter what you're doing in life. Number 1 is confidence. You need to be able to stand and speak your mind and speak in front of people. Confidence is key. Number 2, critical analysis. There's so much information out there. So how do you lift this information and this one and this one, and then it works for you? And number 3, all of us need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. We need to know how to make money. The world is about to become even more capitalistic.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter whether you are, a career person, you're employed. You need to figure out how to generate revenue within the business that you're employed in or with, outside. So in essence, what I'm telling people is don't be an I-shaped individual. Letter I is about depth. So you know one thing like really, really well. We now need to be T-shaped individuals where you have depth and you have breadth. You know one thing, you know one thing really, really well, but you also know a lot of things that can assist you, as an individual.
Yes. Wanna director. 3 things: confidence.
Yeah.
Being able to critically
Decipher.
Yes.
it's like being able to tell this and this. Okay. Then the third one is entrepreneurial mindset. Hiyo hakuna hiyo kuwa nayo.
Unajua, for the longest, even right now, kuna parts of Africa where tunaweza fanya barter trade. Naweza enda kwako unipe maziwa, mimi nikupe I don't know, food. Like that has been in existence. All that is about to go away. We are about to be, because of automation and the internet and everything, we are about to be so capitalistic. So you need to figure out how to make money. And then now AI is just taking all over everything. You need to figure out how to make money.
That gives us so much hope because we want to start businesses but we are scared. Nika kumeja.
Yeah.
So if you're telling us we have to have this entrepreneurial mindset, that means that ukianza sahi na watu wako karibu kuanza ku capitalize or rather they are starting to the market iko, like ready market iko. It gives us so much hope.
And sio kila mtu sele anaweza kuwa a business owner. Not everyone is made for business, but having an entrepreneurial mindset, figuring out how to make money is, for example, unaweza kuwa you're a career HR person. So you don't know how to do business, but you're very good at HR. I'll give an example. There's a business that I know of that a lady used to work at. Ilikuwa tu hardware. Ni mzae tu fulani alianza kama foreman, alianza kama fundi akakuwa foreman nini. So alikuwa anajua very good products. Akaanzisha warehouse. He was very successful. This is a few years back, just when Sudan got independence. So a lot of Kenyans went to build there. So he used to supply supplies all the way to Sudan, across East Africa. This business was doing revenues of up to 8 million shillings a day. Right now, as we speak, that
Alianza kama fundi. Akaenda?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Right now, as we speak, that business does not exist. Ilifungwa. Cause alikuwa tu mzae mwenye yeye bado stock keeping anaandika kwa kitabu. And so busy yake ili grow so fast. And then hakuwa na hiyo knowledge ya I can hire specialist. So wasi alikuwa ameemploy wakaanza kumuibia nini products and stuff. So unacheki oni mzae angepata tu msemfiti wa HR. Amorganize tu biz. And then atafute a good accountant angekuwa hapa. So unaweza kuwa wewe ni HR. So what you need to learn when I say entrepreneurial mindset is, with my skill as a HR person, can I walk to Ashok and, because clearly mafundi wanamsumbua, and offer my solutions to him as a HR expert to handle his workforce, and then in exchange, can you then be able to negotiate for equity? So you're not the one doing the business, but you own part of the business. That's what I'm saying. You need to learn new skills.
Kuuza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uda learn how to own a business without owning one. Yeah.
Okay. Nimehurumia huyo mzee.
I know.
That shows us you can't do also everything in your business.
Yeah. That's
please.
the entrepreneurial mindset. You have to build systems. An entrepreneur is just building systems. Everyone else works in the system. That's it. Nothing else. It's all very complicated. But the mindset also needs you to be, you need to understand it's a long game. It's not a short game, it's a long game. So instant gratification, all of these things that you want, it cannot happen. So you have to understand it's a long game. It's a long system. So first of all, what I will say to someone who's starting out in any industry, in any kind of business they want to do, you need to be an apprentice before you become an entrepreneur. So you need to find someone who's doing what you want, what you like, doing it well. You can be able to associate with that person. Go and learn. If you want to be a content creator, pick someone you can relate to and say, let me go learn from this person. 2 months, 1 month, whatever information you get from that, then you come and create your own and start doing it. But the problem is we want to start as early. So I am creative. I've made one video on TikTok. It has gone viral. Oh, now I'm creative. Then you come to understand that 3-4 videos down the line, now no one is looking at you because you do not understand how to do it consistently for a long time. You need to understand, you pick your niche, you understand what you want to do. Then you go pick someone who's doing the same thing as what you want to do, but they're doing it well. Learn from them, then come and build your own. And then so that it lasts longer. You see, where you started, whatever you're doing when you started is not the same thing you're doing now. Because it's evolution. You learn, you understand, you grow. That is basically what you need to do. And that's what people do not want, especially the younger generation.
We just want to grow.
We want to grow very fast. That's why you see people dancing on TikTok on Sunday all over CBD. All of them are dancing. But
just keep dancing. It is not bad, guys.
No, but what are you picking from there? What is your... Sometimes you're not talented in dancing just because your friends are dancing and it's TikTok and you want to get likes. What are these likes? What does it bring to the table? How does it help you grow? How can you be able to build something from that? So people don't understand that. It's because Celestine is getting views on Instagram. I think also, okay, what is the difference between me and Celestine? Nothing. Let me go do it. And then you realize, okay, there are a lot of things that Celestine understands that you don't. Because it's longevity, learning, and improving and growing. You see now, doing something like what you do and putting 6,000 people in a hall to listen to you and you're not a politician, it is not a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Even get right now, if I stand there, I'll have to shout and I'll only get 10 people to listen to me. You get my point? It is not easy. There's something you've learned. There's a system you've built.
That's true.
To get to that point. You understand? So me, I'll say, be an apprentice before you become an entrepreneur. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I said that was the last one, but now I have another last one.
Yeah.
Are there any trends that you'd love us to leave behind come 2026? Let's start with you.
Yeah.
In your industry.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've seen and you're like, guys, please come 2026 tunaweza wacha hii 2025?
I will say it's closer to what Phil said. It's not every information you get is the information you need to consume. You need to understand not everything is what it seems. You can see someone and see what they're propagating, especially online, because it's very easy to propagate a lot of things online.
Yeah.
But sit down and analyze what are they saying, because people, as much as they, especially people who push content a lot every day, you wake up in the morning, they're there, afternoon, they're there, evening, they're there, they end up losing a lot of the elements they're pushing. So they end up giving you clues of the weaknesses that they have. So you have to sit down and understand what are these weaknesses. As much as I admire the strength, what are the weaknesses? Once you collectively being able to decipher that and learn, you can be able to grow. Because we get carried away a lot with what is there on face value. And face value is not everything. Whatever you see on the news is propagated by someone. Whatever you see someone is saying is propagated by someone.
Yeah.
So Sele might be saying something, but you don't understand. If you don't decipher what Sele is saying, you will not understand exactly where she's coming from. And that is the point. So I will tell people, yes, we love content. We love to push content. We love to learn. We love to get a lot of content. We love to be entertained, but understand what this person is saying. Because for me, for example, if you ask me, if I listen to Timo's content, it is not about the jokes and the satire. There's a message he's sending. You get? If you look at, because whatever he does is real time. You look at what he's telling you. If you're smart enough, you listen. That's why he usually sells you a clue and you have to listen and understand what he's saying. But if you just laugh and enjoy face value, sawa, you'll just know, oh, Timo is a comedian. You see?
Yeah.
But that is not it. You get to understand.
Yeah.
Because there's a person behind it who's trying to tell you something that he cannot say.
Yeah,
Yes.
directly.
Yes.
And I think that reminds me of the China, is it a law? They said they want content creators, they want to pass. If you're talking about something, you must have a degree.
Yes.
In it.
Thank
You have to
you.
be an expert in
Mimi
it.
inaweza taka ifike huko because we've become experts in everything. Mimi hata mimi si expert, guys. Mimi si expert, yeah. Philip, what is that one thing you want content creators and maybe storytellers in general to leave behind come 2026 if we can? Juicy lazima, it's just what you would love.
Yeah.
If they don't want, then it's okay.
You know, they can. There's a statement that has been used for a long time. I don't believe in it. He work smart, not hard. Hey, wachana hiyo nonsense bana. Hey, you have to work smart, not hard. Nah.
Those are the people.
Tiwachana na hiyo kitu.
Wachana hiyo kitu, man.
Zima hiyo kitu.
Zima hiyo kitu. You have to put in the work. You have to work hard. However, when I say that, it does not mean that you don't rest. In fact, and I'll pick this from the Bible, it's a conversation we were having with Pius Mushiri, CEO of Nabo Capital. And he was teaching us about the importance of rest. So from the Bible, I don't read the Bible as much, but on the seventh day,
He rested.
he rested. So you create, he's created a whole business. And part of creating that business, what people call working smart, is building the system. He's spending more time in the business now than ever before. He's working harder on building systems because the systems will afford him rest. And then in the state of rest is the only time you can create more.
More, yes.
Yes. So you have to work hard. There's no shortcut about that. In fact, now with the world that is changing so fast, you have to work 10 times harder to figure out what's happening. But as you're working hard, build the systems that will give you the chance to rest so that you can create more.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bona Director. Thank you so much, Ashok Sunny. And with that, guys, sitaki hata kuongezea tena. Ikiwa hivyo baridi, allow me to end the show. See you next week for our next mini-series of the founders in business. Okay? Bye. Tusemeni bye.
Bye.
Bye.